leaning down because I've angled my camera. So I apologize, but we are on our last video of this series, is getting this garment completed. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Taking a garment from start to finish. This is part 3. So we're going to get started. I'm just going to start. So when we last left off, we had cut our fabric up and we pinned it around. So I'm getting ready to put it together. I'm going to join these two together, and we're going to add our bias tape, which I have here. Have it in black, and then I have a zipper that I'm going to attach, a white invisible zipper. I don't know how long this is, but it's I want to say maybe 9 inches. I can measure it, right? I could measure it. Let's see. We have it's a 15-inch zipper. So let's get started. Now we gotta join our top to our bottom. Remember, we put our pleats in, and we're just gonna match this up. So we kind of have to pin it in a way that we can attach everything. So actually what I'm gonna do first, the first thing I'm gonna do is sew the sides. I think that's the first thing we do. So I didn't know I didn't sew the sides. So let's sew our top, the sides, and the shoulders. Okay, so we're gonna do that first. Let's get it under here. Bring my stuff up here. Okay, let's sew our sides. Back stitch. Take our pins out. Never sew over a pin. Oh my God, they're like bullets flying, and they'll break your needle, which is will also fly at you. And you do not want to put your eye out trying to sew. It can be a dangerous thing, but you just have to be careful. Just never sew over a pin, because I've done it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So I know I shouldn't have. You do things you shouldn't have, and then you get a scary experience, and you learn. Okay, I'm sewing up my shoulders, back stitching, and then that thread comes out. I hate that. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it comes out like that. I use a serger thread because I use so much of the white. I go through too many of those little spools. This is not recommended, but this is just what I do. You don't do that, but I do it. Because I use so much white thread, it's just, I would be buying thread. I can just get more use from the serger thread spools. Anyway, that's just what I do. I do things kind of off the cuff, so. All right, so our second shoulder. I'm going in about 5/8 of an inch, guys, just so you know. Back stitching creates that knot that keeps your threads from coming loose, and I've had that happen too. I've had a garment literally come loose on me, and I was at church. It was quite a scene. Oh yeah, it was really crazy. So I learned things the hard way, unfortunately. All right, the top is completely closed, so our top is sewn. Okay. So we're gonna sew up the sides of our skirt, and then we'll attach them both together. Because I usually start at the seams. When I attach anything, I attach at seams first. 5/8 of an inch. to the other side. Sew up the other side. Okay. Cotton is such an easy fabric to work with. I just love cotton. You just have to remember, if you're making a top, if you're an adult person, it's easy to make it for kids, but you have to put those darts in and cinch that waist in, because it's just gonna look like a box. So you have to remember to do those darts and stuff like that, just to sculpt it, because it is stiff fabric, so it's not gonna lay like the cotton, not the cotton, your stretchier fabrics, jerseys, and all that stuff. So, okay, guys, we are done sewing up the side seam. So, I've sewn up my side seam. Now, we are attaching our top to our bottom now. Okay. So, what we gotta do is, I'm probably gonna have to redo these pleats because I have to attach the top to the bottom. So I'm gonna have to take these out. Make sure everything is on the right side. Now this is the right side, okay? So we're gonna have to turn this, the right sides out. Place it upside down, put it inside, because you want everything to be lined up. Now we're right dead smack in the middle, right? So what I like to do is attach my inseams together first before I do any pleating. Make sure those seams are lined up. Okay, our seams are lined up. We pin on either side. I like to pin on both sides of the seam. Oh, wrong one. Okay, and then we go to the other side and we're going to pin the other side the same way. Okay. All right. So we're pinning our side seams together first before we do any pleating. Okay. Pin on either side. Okay, guys. Now we can do our pleats. So we're pretty much pleating until everything is together. So on this side, and then we're going to pleat on this side. So I'm just going to try to space them so that they are symmetrical. Okay, so I have a pleat here. All right, which is just a fold. You're just folding the skirt part so that it meets up with the top, because I want it to match, but I want it to have a flare. So you come over here and do the same thing. You just fold it. Try to make it even with this one, and then pleat, pin rather. Then I come out a few more inches and I pleat do another pleat here. It's more like a box pleat than a gather. A gather is a little different. You have to pull the threads and stuff. So I'm doing like, these are, I think these are pretty much, the term is box pleats. And you pinning. You're just gonna keep until you get all of this, and then it's just gonna have such a nice flare. Now see, we are already at the center of our fabric. And then this goes like that. And we're gonna have to have maybe an extra one on either side, because it's a little bit wider, but I want that because it's gonna have more of a flare. Once it's put together, it's gonna flare out more. So that's fine. As long as the pleats are kind of, you just want them, you want everything to kind of be symmetrical. Go. some pleats here. And then we got one more we're gonna put right in the center. Okay, we've done that side. Okay, now we're gonna go to the other side. Okay guys, we've pinned it all the way around. Now we're gonna sew it together. Okay, let's get it here. Let's get it lined up. Making sure to remember to take your pins out as you sew, because you got a lot of pins here. Back stitch. Okay. I'm actually doing 5/8 of an inch. So a lot of pins going on here. Fabric want to move around and bend at places. You got to just make sure to keep it straight, because you're trying to maintain your pleats too. So fabric just moves all over the place, which you guys already know. When you're sewing, it gets really crazy. Uh-oh, they're on the other side. I hate that. I hate when I don't pin on the same side, so I gotta go on the other side and remove the pins. That's another habit I have. I put them in my mouth, which is, oh my God, I have so many bad sewing habits. Like, really? Don't do any of these things except what I'm showing you. Oh my gosh. Slide pins on camera. Let's put my pins back. Okay. Moving that out the way. So guys, our dress is mostly done. We just have finishes now. Okay, so this is our dress. Now see, it's gonna flare out because you got all these pleats in the middle here. You're gonna have a nice little flare. So that's the dress. Now, this is what we're gonna do. Instead of just hemming around, got this bias tape. I figured this would give it a little bit of interest, and I still might do something in the middle just for. So let's open our tape here. The first thing you want to do is kind of get a measurement. You have to measure your armholes and your neck hole. Okay, so the way I do it. Remember the number I gave you guys. I know I'm kind of down, but remember the number I gave you guys, the 1.5 inches as a golden rule. Because once you sew it together, you would have taken up that 1.5 inches. So I always add 1.5 inches to my armholes if I'm attaching sleeves and my neck band. So I have my trusty tape measure here, and I go from the top. And I just go around, I curve. Now, this armhole is measuring to 10. Now, 1.5 inches will be 11.5. And that's what I'm going to cut out for this armhole. I'm only going to do one on camera because I think that the rest will be repetitive. So you guys, I don't want to keep you too long because we still got to attach our zipper. So the zipper is going to go right in the back. So I'm just going to attach one side on line. Okay, and then we can go to our zipper. So I'm going to cut 11.5 bias tape. Okay. So, and I'm also going to have to change my thread because this is black. So I'm going to cut out 11.5 inches of bias tape. Okay. All right, we are at 11.5. I'm gonna switch the thread out of my machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys.